This is an Eye on Annapolis bonus podcast.
Well, joining us today is an incredible comedian, and I know that you know him from pretty much everywhere. Abbott Elementary, Night Court, Shameless, Bones, Castle, Dexter, Wizards of Waverly Place, Mad Men, every late night show there ever has been. And, you know, we're kind of limited on time, so I can't name them all, but welcome, Brian Scolaro. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. I'll tell you. Well, you know, folks that are listening do not need to go to their TV to see you, because you're coming back here to Ram's Head on stage for a single show on Saturday the 29th. And I just peeked, and there are some tickets still available, so that's a good thing.
That's probably, are they all available? I don't know, I'm not famous, but I love that club. I love that place.
You were here about 8 or 9 months ago, I think?
No, I play the room every 3 years. So I was there in 2021 maybe. You know, it was great. It was great. I love that place.
That's one of the things I wanted to ask you. I mean, what size room do you like?
Well, you know, it changes. Like I just did Atlantic City where they seat like 1,000 people, and I love those type of rooms. I just yell, I give my jokes, and I leave. But when you get intimate room like Ram's Head, which I think is like 600 or something.
Oh no, it's half that. It's 300.
Oh, perfect. See, like I started in rooms like that. It's more relaxed, and you venture off into new material. You talk to the crowd. It's a little more freeing and fun and more relaxed. And those are like the comedy clubs I started in. So there's pros and cons to both. Like I love giant theaters, but I also love little intimate rooms like Ram's Head where I can just fuck around, you know?
Well, you don't get the merch sales in the little rooms as like you would in the big rooms.
No, that's true. Yeah. But there's something fun about Ram's Head because they're like, I love Maryland, and everybody's so polite and happy, and they're drinking, but they're not like fucking coming on stage. Like I had a girl come on stage the other night and start twerking, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So I pretended to throw up on her ass. I was like, no, bleh. And like she was so mad. I'm like, you came up on stage. I didn't invite you. Like,
oh man,
you're mad at my. I had to do something funny, so I pretended to throw up on her ass like Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, I heard about that, man. How's he doing? Have you heard?
I heard it was food poisoning.
Okay.
Who the hell knows? I mean, I know the guy, but I don't know what happens, you know? The more we talk about it, the more I'm going to throw up. So let's move on.
All right, we will. I'll tell you, man.
Right now, I feel the gag coming.
Yeah. But your depth is actually huge. I mean, and you're everywhere. I mean, you've been, pretty much everywhere.
It's funny that you say it like that, because my ex-girlfriend would disagree with you. Yeah. My depth is not that huge.
It's all a matter of perspective.
It's a penis joke. I'm sorry. Keep going.
But
I apologize.
But which Brian Scolaro are you going to be bringing to Ram's Head on the 29th?
Oh, the silly one. I love a lot of comics want to teach you things. And I'm like, you don't fucking know anything. You haven't had a real job in 30 years. You know, so I don't do politics. I don't do relationship jokes. I don't do jokes about my kids or whatever. I'm just silly. You know, and I try to do universal topics, you know, stuff that everybody, because when I grew up, George Carlin and Bill Cosby, you know, between the rapes, right. they all had like universal stuff that everybody can identify with, you know, and that's what I try to do. You know, I like that stuff. It's just going to be silly, you know, and if I get a couple of drinks, I'll be a little angry too.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
I know the answer to the question is not Annapolis, and it's probably not Ram's Head. But in your mind, what city is the capital of comedy?
Probably New York, because when you play Annapolis, you play Annapolis. When you play Cincinnati, you play Cincinnati. When you play Wichita, you play Wichita. But you play New York or you play Vegas, you play everybody. Everybody's there. Tourists, different races, different ages, different genders. You know, people from out of town, uptown, people, downtown people, everybody's there. So it's like, I like a mixed crowd, you know? So like, I would say that's where you can really hone your chops, is when you're performing for everybody, black, white, Puerto Rican, you know, Indian, everybody. I would say New York is probably the epicenter, and Vegas would be if they weren't so fucking drunk, you know? I mean, Jesus Christ, but everybody's fucking drunk, you know? So,
do you have a favorite room?
I'm a Comedy Cellar guy. You know, Comedy Cellars from the beginning of the show, Louis.
Yep.
Speaking of, he didn't rape, he just jerked off. And I don't even know how to, should I shake his hand anymore when I see him? I don't even know. It's uncomfortable. But, you know, the Comedy Cellar is where I started. And now that I live back in New York, I just moved back 2 years ago from LA, and I play there every weekend. It's my favorite room, and I also like Gotham. And it's I'll play anywhere, but it's like those two are my favorite rooms, I think.
You're in TV, obviously stand up, which you're bringing here to Ram's Head, film, video games. You wrote a book, How to Punch a Monkey.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, right now, if somebody came down and said, "Here's the deal, Brian, you can only do one more thing for the rest of your life," what's it going to be, man?
Well, listen, when you do stand up, it is freeing because it's just you. It's just you. There's no boss. There's no, I mean, you got to reapply for a new boss every week, but it's just you up there. And there's something great about that. But in particular, I like acting because it's more zen. Like, comedy has to be told a certain way in order to get the laugh. In acting, you could do the line this way, you could do the line that way. And if you're truly in character, if you're truly in the moment, then you're living that moment. You're zen. You're not thinking about the fact that your dog just died. You're not thinking about the fact your girlfriend just left you, or that your mom's sick. You're in the role, in the moment. So there's something very fun and freeing and creative about that I get more of a thrill out of. Although sometimes you look at the finished editing and you're like, what the fuck? They took out that line? Like, why would it, it's just, so there is pros and cons. Like, the control of stand-up is fun. And I think acting is more fun, but it can be ruined by the editor or whatever. But I do, listen, there's no, when I did Mad Men, there was no bachelorette party screaming at me. You know what I mean? So there is something fun about acting that stand-up doesn't offer, Stand-up can be affected by the audience, by who's before you, or the lights on, or there's a sound bed, Like, I did a sitcom for 2 years with Pam Anderson and Christopher Lloyd, and that was so much fun. I had more fun doing that than anything. To have a giant studio audience laughing at me working with Christopher Lloyd. And I got to give him a little shit. After about a year of working with him, we became good friends. And we were sitting there, and I go, you did something that really bothered me. And he goes, what? What did I do? And it's funny to picture doing this to a guy I grew up watching. I was like, listen, you did something that really upset me. It was what? I don't want to cause a problem, but you did something, and it made me very angry. He goes, what? What did I do? Tell me. What did I do? I go, when you killed the cartoon shoe in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, why'd you do that? The squeaky little shoe, you put in the dip and you killed it. Why'd you do that? It was a squeaky shoe. He didn't even have hands. How was he going to fuck up your cable car empire? And he looked at me and he just went, I'm really sorry. Like that. You never think you're going to have a moment like that when you're 14 years old watching Back to the Future. But then when it happens, you're like, I can't believe I got a chance to do that,
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Well, I'll tell you, for your money, I mean, and you mentioned Carlin and Cosby and stuff like that, but
yeah,
I mean, you've been around for a while doing the stand-up thing. Who's the greatest comedian of all time?
Well, living or dead?
Dead. Living, both. Doesn't matter.
Well, the best of all time was Carlin.
Exactly.
Because Carlin had like 5 different identities. He had the wearing the suit, like Ed Sullivan type sets. And then he had the hippie sets, and then he had the observational 80s sets, and then he had the edgier 90s sets, and then he had the ranting, angry sets, and then his very last special, which I don't think a lot of people saw, was just like an old man set about being old and about and like playing tricks on people. We lost my father today. He'll turn up. Have you checked the dumpster? I know he likes to hang out in there. Just like a really good, like he just combined all of his styles for the very last special. I think he's my favorite. And if I gotta go living, I gotta go with either probably Louis C.K. or Jimmy Carr. The two of them just kill me. Louis C.K. puts me and other comics to shame. The fact that he could go up there with a small idea and destroy it for like an hour. Like I'm really impressed by that. Like he's probably the best living comedian right now.
I would totally agree with those choices. I'd heard that Carlin was never impromptu, always scripted.
Well, yeah, Carlin was He's a performance actor. He's a performance comic.
Yeah,
There's a lot of different types of comics. There's performance. There's crowd work. There's roast. There's ventriloquists. There's jugglers. But he was a performance guy. Like, here's my material, and I'm going to perform it. And that's what I do. That's what I do.
You know, I also heard that he was also notorious for, if you hired him for 90 minutes, he performed for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Minute 92, he was in the car on the way out counting the money.
Yeah. Yeah, he just got the fuck out of here. He had other people selling his merch. He got in the fucking car and left. You know, it's a job, and a lot of people don't understand. Like, why are you so angry? Because I'm in a bad mood today. What do I got to be joking around all the fucking time? I remember being in an elevator in L.A., and some guy goes, "I heard you're a comic," and I said, "Yeah." And he looks at me and he goes, "Comics are always in a bad mood." And I'm like, "My dog just died." He goes, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." But that wasn't true, but it shut him the fuck up. You know, we're still human beings. Like, some days this is just a job, you know? And Carlin was doing it for 50 years. He let him get in the car and go home. You know, he's not going to sit there and have a drink with you. He wants to go home.
Agreed. Who were some of the young comics? Have you heard, do you listen to other comics as far as any young people that we should keep an eye on?
I'm forced to, because the comedy show doesn't have a green room. So I sit there and I watch these young comics with all this energy. And I go, I remember when I used to have that energy. But now I put a sock on and I sit there on the bed with the other sock in my hand for 2 hours going, I don't want to fucking do this. You know, but when I sit there and watch these young comics, they remind me of me when I started. They're so full of energy. I have problems with memorizing their names. Like, there's a comic named Drew Dunn, who's very funny, from Canada, who just moved here. There's so many funny ones, I can't remember their names, and I'm sorry.
They all got their start on TikToks and stuff like that too. A lot of them are.
Yeah. And they don't. TikTok does not want to watch a 52-year-old fat man. Let me tell you that. Yeah. I have tried,
and none of them wanted to sit into a comedy club on a Wednesday night with mom and her next door neighbor friend, the only people in the audience cheering you on.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, and then these TikTok guys are selling out, but like, okay, you got 300,000 followers, but they're not all in one city.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, they're not all going to come if you book them. But I wish them, I'm not like somebody who complains about how the business changed. Like, there's something for everybody. I'm a little edgier. Like, I'll curse a lot. Like, how many times have I cursed already in this interview?
17.
So that limits me. I can't do cruises and, stuff like that. But like, I love clubs. That's what I'm main for. I'm going to El Paso tomorrow, and then I do Annapolis 3 days after that.
Do you do colleges?
But not anymore. They don't want to listen to 50-year-old men. They think I invented slavery. They don't fucking understand anything. They think they want to see people like them, and I don't blame them. But when I was young, we'd watch Rodney Dangerfield, Dennis Wolfberg, Jeff. We'd watch these older guys and laugh. But the younger kids, they're like, if you're not famous and you're old, they think that I'm beating up black guys in the street at night. They don't they're only reading. They're getting the news from the internet. You can't get your news from the internet. There's a guy blowing a zebra on the internet. You can't. You can write anything you want to on the internet, and it would be a fact a year later. You know, you can write Abraham Lincoln had a smaller Abraham Lincoln in his hat, who was the real Abraham Lincoln, and that would be a fact 2 years from now because of that. You know what I mean? You can't. So I don't know. So they don't really hire. I played at college once about 5 years ago, and I started cursing, and they shut the microphone off, and I had to still do an hour. So I just kept talking because I didn't want to be out of a breach of contract. So I just yelled my material for the rest of the hour. And the kids loved it. The thing is that kids don't think they want to see you. And then when they do see you, they go, oh, this guy's funny. But that's why they won't follow a 60-year-old Chinese guy on fucking Instagram. But if they just gave him a shot, he'd probably fucking kill them, you know?
I hear you.
In a good way.
I hear you. I mean, I'll tell you, I know what Ram said. Some of the best acts, whether they're comedy or music, are the ones that I don't know.
Yeah. My theory is if the comic's not famous and he's playing a good room, go see him, because that means that he's funny enough for them to book. If they think he's not going to sell a lot of tickets, but they still want to book him or her because they're funny, then go see that person. A famous person, will sacrifice your night to practice new things. Like, you know what I mean? Like a famous person will book a weekend in Pittsburgh, and everyone's paying for babysitters, everyone's paying for dinner, and then they're going, and the guy they make them laugh 3 times because they're practicing new things for 40 minutes. So I would say go see the one who's not famous, but if it's in a good room, you know?
That's a great inside tip, man.
I agree. So in other words, what I'm saying is buy tickets to see me, please. If you don't, they won't have me back. You got to come. You got to come. I need help.
You know, hey, what's heckling? Who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody who said that heckling is, just goes with the territory. It's part of the job.
I don't agree with that. I don't think it goes with the job. It's a road. It's a roadblock. It's an object in the road. It doesn't mean it's part of the job. Like when you drive and there's a shredded tire fell off some truck and it's in front of you. It's not part of your drive. It doesn't come with the territory, but you got to fucking veer around that shit or run over it. You're going to damage your car. Like when you start to accept the fact that people are going to interrupt, then you'll be happier, but you're going to I don't know, you depend on it too much. To me, I like a presentation. Like nobody's interrupting Chris Rock or George Carlin, but like
except for Will Smith.
Right. That was crazy. Dude. But the thing is that when I saw Chris, like 2 days after that, and I was like, hey, man, you handled that so well. Thank you. I was like, it felt like we all got slapped. It felt like every comic in the world got slapped. And the way he handled it was so, it wasn't just he said he handled it because his father was like, don't fight when you're black in public. But to me, it was so much more than that. It was a responsibility of the Oscars. It was a responsibility to show his children and everyone else's children how to behave. It was wonderful, the way he handled it.
I agree.
To me, comics we have this thing called burning material. And once you put a joke out there, it's considered burnt. You can't use it anymore. I still throw some old jokes in there because I think they're good. And nobody knows me, so it's fun. But like you put a joke on Instagram or TikTok, you burn it. So these comics are showing crowd work clips where somebody interrupted them and they made fun of them. So now even more than it was before, the audience thinks that's part of the show. But it's really not. It was just a guy trying not to show his jokes on Instagram. So people are heckling more now, but they don't mean harm. When it's a mean heckle, I'll get mean back. But when it's not a mean heckle, I'll just like roll with it. And that's why I have 2 drinks before the show, because somebody's gonna fucking interrupt. But what I hate are drunk people. Oh my God, like they'll just fucking. I was doing a show, and one guy goes, first line out of his mouth, they go, let me guess, Italian. And I go, yeah, let me guess, asshole. And the crowd's like, yay! And then I just go home, I'm true. You know what I mean? Like this, like people think the show is about them. And they always say the same thing. Oh, we're just trying to help. No, you weren't. You wanted attention. That's all it was. I'm sorry you're not getting enough attention at home, and I hope things turn around. I took that like psychologically. And sometimes I'll go after the girl who's with the asshole. I go, why are you fucking this guy? I was like, doesn't that also make you an asshole? Because you're filling him full of asshole confidence and setting him back in the world. Then you're going to have a kid. You can have a kid. That's 3 assholes. And then all the guys you turn down, they'd be like, fuck that. I'm going to be an asshole too now. So now they got like 16 assholes walking around, all because you had to be a whore. And like, what's the guy going to do here? I didn't like getting psychological with him. But I just like my jokes. I don't really, when somebody interrupts, I'm like, okay, he wants attention. Here you go. But I'm more about the presentation of material. And Red Fox used to say when you would get interrupted, he used to say, leave me alone, let me do my job, and you'll have fun. Like, leave me alone and see how good the show will be. And then, and the shows are much better, It's people would just get, nowadays more than ever since the pandemic and Instagram and everybody thinks everything's about them. Yeah. And it's not. We're nothing's about you, Nothing's about me. When I'm on stage for 45 minutes is about me. But the minute I'm off stage, I'm just another fucking fat guy that nobody wants to talk to, you know?
That's life, man.
Yeah. Hey. Girls remind me of that all the time, you know? Like, I can get laid after a show, but there's a window. There's a window. Like, in the morning, I'm just a fat guy. The best is when a girl sleeps with me in the morning, she's like, oh, you're just a fat guy. You're not on stage anymore. I'm like, yeah, I tricked you. It's just, there's not much. I got nothing else to offer.
It was funny. I saw a show with Chrissy Hind from the Pretenders, and she was doing a solo show, and they had a no camera thing, and people were taking cameras. She stopped in the middle and she said, look, I'm not a diva. Look at me. I'm 68 years old or whatever the hell she was at the time. And she says, way back when, I could have gone home with any one of the men in this theater. He says, now, no way. He says, but looks to the guy in the front row. You play your cards right, you might get lucky tonight. But she totally diffused it and told everybody to put their phones away and just live in the moment, which was really kind of cool. But at first you got to be nice and like explain things and appeal to their kindness. And but when very rarely will you meet, it's not often, but every once in a while you'll have a complete dick in the crowd who thinks that it's all about them. It's sad, when I like when a room helps you out. And that's one good thing about Ram's Head is they got that great staff. One guy's like, I'm here to walk you on stage. I'm like, I don't think anybody's going to try to kill me, man. Nobody even knows who I am, Well, I'll tell you, you know what? You have one of the weakest Wikipedia pages. It's got all your accomplishments and stuff like that, but it doesn't have anything like personal information. So outside of working, which doesn't sound like you don't do much, what are you into? Do you collect like Bugattis or anything?
First of all, I got thrown off my weakness. You think it's weak? It's just a bunch of.
Well, it's strong. Professionally, it's strong, but usually they say personal stuff, and it's like
nobody cares. Nobody cares,
Yeah.
And so I'd have to add that stuff, and I'd have to add it, or like a fan who knows about my life. I don't really talk about my real life on stage,
Well, what do you do for fun outside of performing?
To be honest with you, I just work. I work all the time. It's a very sad life. All I do is work. I'm taking care of an elderly woman, my mother, and it's so all I do is work for for us to get by, and
it's really laudable that you're taking care of your mom.
Yeah, well, that's what you're supposed to do. I lost my father during the pandemic, and I couldn't see him because the pandemic just started and nobody knew how it was acting. So my father forbid me to move home. It was a small apartment, so I was like, okay. And I missed my father dying. And once the pandemic lifted, I was like, I should move home. There's that great line in the show The Office where Michael Scott's girlfriend wants to move to Colorado. And she says to Michael, I want to see my dad while he's still my dad. And that line got to me. So I was like, if I don't move home now, I'm going to miss even more of my mother's life. So I moved home. And that was rough because I was doing well in L.A. I had just done Night Court. I had just done Shameless. I had just done Abbott Elementary. I was on a roll, and I had to leave, And girls fuck me out there. They don't fuck me here in New York. Like, I have a theory. If a girl has a fat New York Italian fetish, there was 15 of me in the whole city of Hollywood. There's 90 of me on this block here in New York. You know what I mean? Like, I have nothing. There's nothing special about me here. And then you throw in the no money thing. Oh, fuck. And the only girls that want to fuck me look like me. The one girl tried to fuck me in Tampa. She introduced me to her fiance. And then I did the show. And then she came back out. And she started rubbing her hands on my chest, saying, I want to fuck you tonight. I was like, but your fiance. She's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm like, I can't do that to another man. She goes, oh, so you're not interested? I'm like, no, of course I'm interested. I haven't been late in a year, but I can't do that. The one girl wanted to fuck me, wanted to cheat on her fucking fiance like a month before the wedding. I'm like, no, I can't. And it's just like, that's my luck,
Well, you are working a whole bunch. What's on tap for you? What do you got on your calendar as far as work stuff goes? Obviously, you're coming to Ram's Head on the 29th.
The Ram's Head on 29th, I'm really excited about. And then I'm doing May 4th. I'm headlining the Philadelphia Punchline. And what else? I got Reno, Nevada in June. I got I think I'm opening for T.J. Miller at the Comedy Loft in April in D.C. And I'm doing like a bunch of those I can't remember. I think I'm doing the Stress Factory soon, and I got some films coming out, which I'm excited about. I have a small part in Alto Nights, the Robert De Niro movie, coming out.
It's like this week,
March. Yeah, March. Yeah. 20. Well, I don't know what they kept. It was very small, and it was improv, so they might have kept nothing. So I don't know. Like, it's towards the end of the movie, and sometimes when it's at the end of the movie, they try to keep it rolling.
Is that the cutting room floor?
Yeah, it's possible, but I had a great time, and I love Barry Levinson, and because he wrote High Anxiety, the Mel Brooks movie, so I was talking to him about the High Anxiety the whole time, and that alone was just tremendous fun, and actually, working with De Niro for a couple of days was a thrill, and I'm in a horror movie. Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie became public domain, so they made a horror movie aboard the Staten Island ferry where Steamboat Willie kills everybody, and I get out, and I'm in that movie coming out April 2nd. So I'm like, okay, so I got 2 things coming out, which is fun, but it's like it's so weird. Like, I work with De Niro, and then I'm in a sea horror movie where I get killed by Mickey Mouse. It's very, very strange life.
It's the glamorous life of Brian Scolaro.
Yeah. And then what do you do with that? I just go home, eat spaghetti, jerk off the porn, and go to bed. That's my life.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but I want to thank you so much for calling in. I can't wait to have you come down here into town again on the 29th. For those that are listening, all things Brian, you want to go to brianscolaro.com, and that's
yeah, but don't watch all the clips, because I'm going to repeat some of that stuff.
Okay.
Just come. Just buy a ticket and come, and I guarantee you will have fun.
Okay.
I guarantee you.
And there is absolutely no twerking on this show.
No twerking. I will throw up.
He will throw up on your ass.
I don't understand what the thrill is of twerking. I just want to see an ass. I don't want to see it jiggle. And I don't even understand, what's the big deal about gaping? You know what gaping is? I don't want to see the woman's small intestines. You know what I mean? I don't understand porn. Can we stop showing the guy's face during porn? Like, I'm about to come. They cut to the guy's face. I'm like, no, now I'm gay. Just stop showing the inside of the ass and the guy's faces. If anyone works in porn in Maryland, listen, John. Thank you so much for having me. It was a real pleasure to talk to you, and I appreciate you helping me promote the show.
Absolutely. And tickets, ramsheadonstage.com, and safe travels from New York, man. We'll see you on the 29th.
Thank you. See you on the 29th. I'm on American Airlines, so I may burst into flames. But if I don't, I'll see you March 29th.
All righty. Take care, man.
Bye-bye.
I have a deep voice. I have a good phone sex voice. I have a good phone sex body. Fuck you. I wish I could make people shit with my mind. Like, that was my superpower. I looked at you and you shit yourself. I'm just saying, it'd be a weird superhero. Like, you won this round, Batman. And I gotta walk home like this. I had this voice as a kid. I'm not kidding. I was 12 years old with a deep voice. I had no idea. I called my friends to hang out. Their mother would answer and think I was a pedophile. Like, hello? Is Bobby there? Who is this? I'm his friend. What do you want with Bobby? I want to play. I want to play with Bobby. Tell him to meet me at the park and bring his balls. That's the one. It's a clean joke officially. I'm tired of racial stereotypes. I think we need new ones. We should switch the fucking stereotypes we have. Well, here comes that Chinese guy with his giant cock. I can't figure out this math problem. Get me a Mexican. Really, dude? You're gonna be on the fucking phone in the front row? Give me the fucking phone. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, Frank Brown, fuck off. Your gay friend is fucking putting his cock in my mouth right now. Just, Frank, fuck off. You can do the coke deal later. Leave my fucking show alone. You're fucking up everything. Are you Frank Brown?
Yes, I
How the fuck are you calling me? How are you calling me?
am. I don't know.
Did this happen during anybody else's show? Why is this happening during my show? Fuck you, Frank.
This has been a bonus podcast from Ion Annapolis. Please visit us at ionannapolis.net. Follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Ion Annapolis. And if you haven't subscribed to the Daily News Brief podcast, go for it. And all of your local news will be delivered to your phone, tablet, or smart device by 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday.